Hello, and welcome to the Experience Local with Russ and Scott. Each week, they bring you conversations with local Christian businesses and business owners. Join in every Monday live at 9 a.m. Pacific on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. Listen to the program on Spotify or wherever you listen to fine podcasts. The Experience Local is brought to you each week by wonderful sponsors.
Copper Rock Real Estate, commercial and residential real estate in the Mid-Willamette Valley. Contact Shelley Henderson, 503-881-7399, or online, copperrockrealty.com. Boson Hub wants you to know about Showing Up, Perspectives on Cancer, and the in-person event, October 3rd through 5th in Garrison, New York. Contact Russ Hedge to learn more. Email russ@russhedge.com. Independent Merchant Brokers, innovative solutions for your payment processing needs. Learn more at independentmerchantbrokers.com or call 877-460-4747. The Arbor at Avamere Court in Kaiser provides memory care. And enjoy independent living at Avamere at Albany. Learn more online, arbor@avamerecourt.com or avamere@albany.com. Discover Oregon Real Estate, your statewide experts in luxury home sales, farm, ranch, commercial, business, and land development. Online at dore.llc or call 503-299-9070.
And now, your hosts for the Experience Local, Russ and Scott.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning. Here we are on the Experience Local Live with Russ and Scott, and we are so thankful to be here today, aren't we, Scott?
Yeah, we get to talk with Scott Weaver, so I get to hang out with two of my best friends, Russ and Scott.
That is so awesome, and thank you. I feel honored to be included in that group. Thank you. Scott, every Monday it's such a blessing because we are here at 9 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time or 11 a.m. Texas Standard Time, live on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. Also, this then converts to audio podcasts on Spotify. Also, this plays on the Experience Radio Network. So many opportunities to listen or watch this show. And it sits on LinkedIn and YouTube forever, and Facebook for 30 days after we're done as well, the video podcast. So many great opportunities for people to connect and talk about believers in business. And I love this, expressing our faith and finding so many people out there, right, Scott, that love the Lord, that are local business.
Yeah, absolutely. People can go to local.theexperience.video. That's our website where we have all of the different shows and books that we're doing between Russ and I. And this particular show on Monday, we've been doing this now for a year and a half, Russ. And
wow,
we have had so many wonderful conversations about or with Christians who are applying their faith in their workplace, whether it's a for-profit or nonprofit company. It's been just amazing to see how people integrate their faith and their family and their work and are making a difference in the world.
Yeah, no, I agree with you 100%. And, if you want to see some of these other believers, definitely go to theexperience.video, local.theexperience.video today for more information. You go directly to our YouTube page at theexperience.video. Either way you can get there. Please subscribe today because you will find amazing people on our Experience page, not only from the Monday show here on the Experience Local, but from our flagship show, The Experience Live with Russ and Scott on Wednesdays. More information about the Waco experience that Scott is doing. So many great things are happening. So please take a look at that today. And Scott, anything exciting going on for you this week?
Well, let's tell you that last week we had the 1-year celebration of the Waco Experience, an American Story radio show. And we had, probably 50 people come to our ribbon cutting. And I got interviewed by Nikolai from Startup Waco. Just some great questions after that. So It was just overwhelming to me to see so many people there. So many people that had been guests on the show came, and so it was just very encouraging. This week, I'm just looking forward to kind of settling down a little bit after the big celebrations and getting back into my normal routine.
Yeah, well, I mean, the big celebrations can be wonderful, but it is a lot. And yes, I can understand how you totally are ready to settle down a little bit. And yeah, I am so grateful for all that you've been able to do there, Scott. It's amazing. It really is. So,
Yeah, we're just beginning our second year here in Waco, Texas, and
uh,
uh, as our listeners know, both you and I are very dedicated to morning routines. And so
yes,
I get up and I make coffee and I read the Bible, and then there's usually a book that I read, and then I journal. And in today's entry, I said, as we're entering our second year, beginning our second year here in Waco, I feel like it's the roller coaster. You know how it gets right up to the top and those first cars start to go over the edge? And in the next moment, the whole thing's going to just break loose, and a lot of fun is going to happen. So that's the kind of the way I feel.
yeah, no, it is great. I really think amazing things ahead for all of the experience shows and all that's going on. It's so great to celebrate people's experience of life. Speaking of which, I do have one little thing going on in my life right now, among all the other things, and that is coming out my last proof copy, Life Happens and Then You Choose. So excited about this book release, and very, very excited on November 3rd, which is 2 weeks from today, Scott. And
We're going to have fun on those shows. And I
yeah,
want to give a shout out to Liz Lawless.
oh
She's
yeah,
our publisher. She's a publisher there in Dallas and does excellent work. Anyone that is interested in publishing a book, reach out to Liz Lawless. We've got contact
yes.
information. Reach out to us. But Russ, congratulations. I'm looking forward to being live with you on launch day.
Well, and I'm excited too because there's this great, great endorsement in the front by my friend D. Scott Smith. And for those of you that happen to know, if you're listening to or watching today, a friend of mine that I am blessed to know, Mr. Bob Goff, is the endorsement on the back of my book. New York Times best-selling author, but an amazing individual. And so I'm so excited to have that. Going to tell everybody that we are also doing a live launch book celebration at Willamette Valley Christian Supply in Albany, Oregon. That will be coming up on, I believe it's Saturday the 23rd, if I remember right.
So stay tuned, follow Russ, and make sure that you show up live for that book signing event if you're anywhere near the area.
Yes, and I said the wrong date. It's actually the 22nd. Wanted to make sure I had that right. Saturday the 22nd. So please, if you're in the area. So with that, I'm really excited to talk to Scott. We got to get him in.
Yeah, Scott Weaver is also an author, and he's working on a couple of different books right now. But let's hear from Scott himself.
So one last thing, Scott, I forgot to mention, we're going to bring Scott in, but don't forget, everybody, not only are we so grateful for our sponsors, but we're also grateful that this is listener supported. So look for the information and the QR code if you would like to support our ministry and are getting this wonderful information out every week. With that, drum roll, please. Brrr, Mr. Scott Weaver. Hey, Scott.
Hey, Scott.
Thank you, Russ and D. Scott. Don't think I've had a drum roll like that before. So a lot of fun here. So
Well,
I just want to thank you again. This is the second time on the show, so I guess the first time I didn't screw up too much. And
you're an amazing individual, Scott. But some people may not know much about you. So let's find out who in the world is Scott Weaver and what are you up to?
Okay, I better take my notes here. So, my name is Scott Weaver. I am currently based out of Franklin, Tennessee, but I used to live in Oregon, in the Corvallis area for a long time. My kids went there. I have a background in engineering, graduated from Oregon State University, and a business MBA from Willamette University, that's in Salem, Oregon. And that's this tech and business has really been exciting for me to help business owners in helping them grow their business, helping them with their marketing strategy, help them bridge WordPress with their business process and marketing together. So that's kind of a highlight on the business side, what I do. I am married, been married for 31 years to the same
Congratulations.
woman. So it's been a wonderful journey for two kids, both in their 20s and both have real jobs. So if you're a mom and dad, you know what it feels like. So my current project is I'm working on a book called, well, the working title is Four Pillars of Decision Making and Action. And this came about from a really high impact uncertainty, couldn't see into the future with literally life or death. Uh, this decision was life and death. So about 2.5 years ago, I had a cancer diagnosis, very rare. They couldn't identify what it was. Went through the standard process for the local, but then had to decide, do I follow up with a chemo process or not? And there wasn't a chemo drug available, really. There was a couple old-fashioned ones that were really scary and stuff. And so I was like, well, what do you do? How do you face that? The doctors didn't know. They punted and gave it to me, and of course, I didn't know what to do. And it was really of a faith challenging and a faith building at the same time. And out of this came out the four pillars of how to make such these really high impact future decisions when you have no clue what's going on. So I call it the four pillars. The first pillar is the best that humanity can produce. I personally believe that God inspires people. He breathed a lot of characters into us. So we have intelligence, we have creativity, we have willpower, and we can build tools and stuff. That's the best of humanity. And for my particular case, that was the best of what the doctors and the medical field can produce. But that was not enough. So start looking at the best of nature. And once again, feel like, God has given us pretty much everything we need on this planet, whether it's plants, trees, water, all of that. And that needs to be come into the decision-making process. And then there's the best what I can do. Um, you know, waking up right, eating right, doing the research that I need, not doing too much research, not doing enough, just being who I am and doing the best I can do, taking advantage of my skill sets. And those all have to be combined together to make these really hard decisions. But the framework and the box that all this is in is the best of God, because God created humanity, God created nature, created me, and without that aspect in it, it's really hard to pull all that together. So that's the project you did. I'm trying to communicate that message out because I met a lot of people who are facing very difficult decisions, whether it's on the health side or in the business, whether to sell a company or not. And you just can't see into the future. And that uncertainty and anxiety combined with a little stress can really eat at you. And this is a framework to deal with that.
And just to give people a little background, Scott Weaver and I lived just a handful of miles apart in the same community, but we didn't know each other. We were both mentoring companies through the world's largest clean technology accelerator, business accelerator,
Yeah,
which
I
is
remember
called
that.
the Clean Tech Open, and that was in Redwood City, California. And we met down there, and it's like, oh, I'm Scott. Oh, I'm Scott. Oh, I'm from the Corvallis area. I'm from the Corvallis area. And so we just became great friends and mentored businesses through that process. And then you got called to move to Franklin, Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
And this was prior to the cancer diagnosis.
Yes.
But as it turns out, you were in the right location when you had that diagnosis.
Yes, Vanderbilt University has one of the top sarcoma. So I just didn't have any normal cancer. I had to have sarcoma, which is already rare. The whole family of it's 1 in 100, and I'm up there at 2 men in 10 million of the incidents.
Wow.
So, that's pretty rattling when you have something that rare for it. But you do what you can, you do, and going back to Russ's new book is coming out. Life happens, and you make choices
There
for
you
it.
go.
Yeah. And
Well, it's interesting. I just want to jump in there, Scott, because you and I have a lot in common. First of all, Scott didn't know us from Adam until we all got into business, even though we are all from the same area. Number two, the cancer journey. And I am so grateful and just praise God that I just got the news, no sign of disease on my cancer. And that is so, I'm so thankful for that. But people don't realize too, and this is not a negative, but the fact is cancer is a lifelong journey. There's a lot that goes along with all of that. Number one, you're always being checked. You're always going through tests. All those things are going on because you got to keep an eye on you no matter where you're at. Number two, things change in your body. And I have been blessed to have many major changes in my body over this test, over the treatment time. But you know what? God has taught me so much because I'm a firm believer that, and I want you to speak to this. I'm a firm believer that God does the most growth and blesses us the most through challenges and adversity in our life. We learn more, we depend on Him more. And it has been really a true blessing and honor for me, not only what I've learned as I've gone through this and made me stronger, but also the ability to share it with others and to encourage others that are going through challenges in their own life. Speak a little bit to that.
Okay. Well, I think that journey is unique for everybody.
Yep.
Let me explain it this way: is when I looked inside when I was at my low points, which I had a lot of them. It was like the why me, why so rare, and stuff. And the diagnosis is at the original was not very good. Then I realized that everybody's on the journey. And it may not be a cancer journey. It may be a typical life where people just go through their life and live out to old age and face it. But I did a quick survey research between Battle of Hastings in 1066 and the start of the Civil War. 100% of all humans died. This is something about how God created the world that we live in. We are all on a journey. We all need encouragement. We all need growth.
Right.
And sometimes it's accelerated, like Russ and me facing the cancer. I mean, it comes in like I just felt like I get hit with a 2x4 in the stomach when it first happened. So very, very sudden, and other people's it's not so sudden. But it's really important on your journey to be walking with the Lord, to increasing your spiritual knowledge, but also in your own personal character and development, because that is important. Because at the end of the day, when we're old and stuff, we are encouraging the younger generation, and we need to set it as best we can an example for them not to give up, because they will be facing their own journey, their own challenges, and I could talk a long time on that, but I just want to say again, we're each on our own journey. We need to figure out a little bit, but we're not alone. We have Agavit and a helper in Jesus.
Amen.
Absolutely.
Amen.
And just to remind people, today's guest on the Experience Local is Scott R. Weaver, and he's in Franklin, Tennessee. He's his company is A Rise to Live. Scott, you've written a number of books. You mentioned your wife, Imelda. You have 2 children, and obviously you have a deep faith in Jesus Christ, and also your family has been integrated into your business as well.
Yes, it has. So in my journey as a business owner, I had to give up stuff. And without my family support, I would have to close down for it. So my wife has taken over a lot of the, I don't know. It's weird. She has a degree in computer science, so she's helping me on definitely on the web tech side, the WordPress, but also she's doing just assistant and helping me. In fact, she's taking a call for me right now. And that has been a huge relief. And I just asked myself, why didn't I do that like 10 years ago? And then my son also followed a little different path than I did. He got a degree in physics, but he's working as a cloud engineer. So when I get stuck on WordPress or what the internet's doing, I ask my son. And then my daughter is in the music industry, working for a Capital Christian Music Group. And so in my content creation and stuff, she beats me up. So the first book that I wrote, she says, your font size and your topology, or whatever you call the calligraphy font, was all wrong. She took a full semester on just fonts and all that. So without the family support, I don't think I would be as good as what I do, not as helpful to customers, and much more stressed out.
Yeah, family is amazing. And I could not do anything I do without my beautiful wife and my family, and my latest journey here writing this book again, they're all my first editors. They're my looking at, they're helping me along the process. And it would be inconceivable for me to have gone through the cancer journey that I'm still, even though I've been declared no sign of disease, still so much happening. They're always there for me. My number one advocates, my number one cheerleaders helping throughout the way. And that makes such a big difference. So I think that, we talk about that all the time, about the integration of family and all that we do. But, I think mostly with you, Scott, that it just is amazing, is you're such a strong man in your faith and all that you believe in, which keeps you rock solid. But tell everybody, even with that, I can say this, and I want to hear your perspective. Even with that, it's still tough. It's still tough, even with your faith, because people sometimes will watch us and say, yeah, but you don't know what I'm going through. You have it easy compared to me. I've got whatever's going on. But it is not an easy journey, is it?
No, it's not. And so I'm on the analytical side of thinking, physics, math. I'm a numbers person, very logical and stuff. And then you throw in the faith component, and then you realize that there is a logic side to it. There is an approach to it, but there's also a relationship side with others and also with the Lord for it. And so a lot of the books and stuff that people tell me to do are with a different personality, with a different background. For your biblical people, there's the Martha's and Mary's example for it. So I'm definitely on the Martha side. You got to get things done. And a lot of people, I got a lot of advice from the Marys, and it just didn't apply. And that was really a challenging for me, because I went through a phase where, I'm not in God's will. I'm being punished. I took a wrong turn somewhere over there, and it's all my fault. And realize that negative thinking is originally not for me, but if I embrace it, then I'll just face plant some, on the ground someplace. But I'm on my journey right now is dealing with my personality, my background, the season of life I'm in, who I am. I need to work out, I guess the phrase, work out my salvation as an individual. And so each one of you out there, you're on your own journey, and you need to work it. And that actually is a wonderful thing, because we're unique, we're special. We reach different people, we talk to different people, we have different perspectives. And without that, the world that we live in is incomplete. But that journey is tough, and you need to be in scripture, you need to be praying, and definitely working with other people to support you, reminding you of the basics.
Yeah.
So hopefully I answer your question.
No, it's so good. We are all so different, and yet so many similarities, you know what? But the truth is, I love this because we are definitely better together when we come together and share. I just came from speaking at a cancer conference back east, and a small group that really shares and lives life together. And it's so important, because we all need that with our family, with our friends. Obviously God's leading the way, and I'm just so blessed by that. So, but I have to be the responsible host and get things wrapping up for today. So give everybody what I call your gold nugget of the day. What do you want them really to remember from this conversation? And then let everybody know how they get in touch with you. And you got a couple minutes. Go ahead.
Okay. The number one thing is when you're facing these tough decisions and stuff, it goes back to the 4 pillars. You have options. The best humanity is definitely an option. The science, the medical field and stuff, take advantage of that. The best of nature, eating the right foods, getting enough sleep, helping your body do what it does is also very important. And it falls back to the best what you can do with the knowledge and the ability that you have. But underneath it, as a foundation and an overall protection, is what God can do in each one of those things. So my point is, you have options, you have an advocate, you have other people. Take advantage of them the best you can. You can reach me at my website is businessownergps.com. Again, that's businessownergps.com. And has a little bit of my consulting and also my web tech place. I see on the screen my LinkedIn. You can contact me there for it. So.
And I can see the book that you have back there that ties into your website.
Your destination. So this is the linking a business owner's vision with a tactical steps to move forward. So that's available on Amazon. So, yeah.
Just happens to be there. Well, that's great. Well, say that one more time. Your destination. There we go. On Amazon, everybody. So that will appear in the comments.
Okay.
And so people can click on that. And also all of your contact information is in the comments. Your LinkedIn has been ticking along the bottom of the screen. And so everybody listen, you can connect directly to Scott today. You can just click on it, make it happen. And don't forget that we are here every Monday at 9 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time and 11 a.m. Texas Standard Time for your listening and viewing pleasure with amazing people like Scott. So you do not want to miss it. So Scott, listen, we're going to say goodbye on screen, but hang tight for just a minute as we wrap up, and we'll see you in the green room.
Scott.
Thank you. You're a blessing.
Thank you, Scott.
Wow. Amazing.
It's fabulous. I love these 4 pillars, the best of man, the best of nature, the best of yourself, and the best of God. I think those are great things for us to write down into our own notebooks and journals and remember on a daily basis.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. I just want to remind everybody, Scott, that, life can be challenging at times, but there's always hope. And you can find it here on the Experience Local, Live with Russ and Scott, with amazing people that are in our local area, in the Willamette Valley and in Texas, that are doing amazing things for God with their business and with their life.
Or Franklin, Tennessee.
Or Franklin, Tennessee. Yes, that too. Yes. And, but Scott, he's such a local guy from Corvallis originally. So there you go. He's grouped in, but no, I'm just so thankful for all the opportunities. Don't forget, everybody, 9 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, live every week. But then this also converts to a video podcast on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. It's on radio on the Experience Radio Network, KWIL in Albany and KYKN in Salem, and converts to audio podcast. With that, Scott, any last words?
I just want to tell people, go to the website, local.theexperience.video, learn more about everything that we've got going on, and follow us on YouTube.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And with that, have a blessed and amazing week and enjoy
your local experience.
There you go.
Thank you for tuning in to The Experience Local with Russ and Scott. Listen to the program on Spotify or wherever you listen to fine podcasts. Join in every Monday live at 9 a.m. Pacific on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. We look forward to seeing you next time on The Experience Local with Russ and Scott.